This message is for South Africans. What is happening in South Africa is a thing of grave concern. The question is, how do we get South Africans into a position of responsibility? How do we get South Africans into the position of accountability? Look at what is happening in South Africa, the way they are killing their fellow Africans, the way they are killing foreigners, especially Nigerians. One is appalled when he looks at what is going on, the kind of images and the kind of thing that's happened in South Africa. As I was looking at today, I saw how South Africans, the mobs, rushed to a pregnant woman and was beating her and probably beat her to death. This is very, very dangerous. Now, let's get to the context of the matter. Let's look at South Africa, where it is now and where it was and where it's going. My question is, where is South Africa going with this kind of mentality? In fact, they have demonstrated that they don't have mentality for freedom. If you look at their past, they were crying heavily for deliverance. They were crying for people to help them free themselves from apartheid. They were blaming the apartheid regime. But look at the moment, they are still blaming people, blaming everybody, blaming others for what is happening to them. They've been freed from apartheid, but they've not changed. Their mentality is still there. So the question is, how do we get them into a position of responsibility? How does one killing his brother, or how does that justify anything one can think of? The question is, they are saying that people are taking off their job. This is ridiculous. How can somebody be taking your job? It's because of poor self-concept. It's because of the things you learn from the apartheid government. You've been brainwashed to believe that you cannot help yourself. You've been brainwashed to believe, you can't love yourself. Look at what is going on. It demonstrates lack of love. It demonstrates lack of self-love. You don't love yourself and you don't love other people. Have you forgotten that foreigners are your friends? Have you forgotten what happened in the past, that foreigners helped you to liberate yourself from the shackle of bondage? And today, you are disgracing yourself by beating foreigners in your country, especially Africans. What is wrong with you? I am asking you, South Africans, what is wrong with you people? Why are you humiliating and killing and burning and maiming foreigners in your country? Does it mean that South Africans don't have government? Does it mean that South Africans don't have leaders? Does it mean that South Africans don't have police forces? This is a shame. Because I cannot imagine that somebody in his right sense will beat a woman who is pregnant to stupor and to death. Look at what is happening to foreigners in your country. Have you seen a country that is beating their foreigners in this way? Now, this goes back to the mentality you develop from apartheid. You see, you can take somebody you can take a horse to the stream, but you cannot force it. Your experience supposed to teach you that, look, you must have respect for human life. You must have respect you must have value for human life. Are we in the 10th century? Are we in the Stone Age? Are we in the barbaric time? This barbarism is too much. For the past 3 years, you've been killing the foreigners who are supposed to be your friend, who came to develop your country along with you. But because of poor self-concept, because of laziness, hatred for work, you've decided to shun these people. You've decided to blame them and complain they are the cause of the economic problem in South Africa. Have you forgotten you were blaming the apartheid regime that were the responsible for your problems? Now you have shifted it from the apartheid policymakers to your fellow Africans. That they are the cause of your mayhem. They are the cause of topsy-turvy economy in your country. It is a shame. This has come to a situation where something has to be done. I'm appealing to well-meaning South Africans to come en masse, to intervene, to stop this madness in South Africa. It is a disgrace. The legacy of Nelson Mandela has been trashed. The legacy of Desmond Tutu has been trashed. The things for which Steve Biko died is now a thing of, a thing of laughter. How can you be killing innocent people that you are supposed to harbor in your country in this manner, in a senseless manner? Complaining they are taking your job. Have you forgotten that if you are not lazy, you would have taken up their job? These people are people who are taking the jobs you refuse to do. Let me tell you, independence from apartheid does not mean freedom. Delivering you from apartheid does not mean freedom. Freedom means you have to strategize your own thinking. Freedom means you have to do things on your own. You can't fold your hands in your country and you'll be complaining that everybody's taking your job. These people are taking their job because you refuse to, you refuse to work. You refuse to develop yourself. You refuse to develop your skill. Who in his right sense will believe that somebody will take his work? The people who believe that others could take their work are people who are irresponsible. There are people who are ignorant. Because nobody can take your position if you know what you are doing. Your skills are there, your gifts are there. Nobody can take it away from you unless you refuse to develop it. For the past 30 years or 40 years or 100 years, you refuse to be educated. You refuse to know something. And in that sense, you didn't develop your skill. You didn't develop your talent. And now you are coming down to blame the foreigners who are trying to feed their family, fend themselves, and who are running from difficult positions in their country. And you are making their situation worse than it was. This is a disgrace. Have you forgotten that these foreigners were the people that helped you? Why are you treating them in this oppressive manner? That means you've not shifted from the mentality of apartheid to a mentality of freedom. So how long is it going to take you to learn one thing that you have to ignore? You have to leave behind the apartheid mentality. The brainwashing for which we are taught not to have value for yourself. You've been taught not to have value for yourself, and this is what you are demonstrating in your streets. Killing people, killing pregnant women, killing vulnerable people. This is a disgrace. The world cannot accept this very standard. You have brought yourself so low that you have become a mockery of all the whole world, especially Africans. Every meaningful person must distance themselves from you because you've shown that the memory of apartheid, the memory of abuse, the memory of hatred is still within you. It's still in your mind, in your spirit. How do we get rid of this oppressive mentality? I am asking you, South Africans. How do we solve this problem? This problem of poor self-concept. The idea that people are stealing your work. Had you developed your skill, how would somebody steal your work? Had you gone to school, nobody would have taken your work to develop yourself. Because you tend to be lazy, you tend to be laid back, and then the foreigners are doing the jobs which you are doing, and you are very envious and jealous of them. And because of that, you've gone to rampage to kill them, to maim them, and burn them alive. Who in his own senses will tolerate this? This abuse, this oppressive mentality is too much. For the past 3 years now, more than 3 years now, you've been humiliating, disgracing the foreigners. Have you forgotten that if you kill one person, you've killed yourself? Look at yourselves in the mirror. Look at yourself in the mirror. See what you've done to yourself. See what you've done to yourself in the name of killing foreigners in your country, especially Africans, fellow Africans, who came to your assistance during your troubled time. Have probably thought that freedom is a time of dancing and the smoking and the singing and dancing. This is not the time. This is the time to work. This is the time to discover yourself. This is the time to strategize and take initiatives. For the past 200 years, you've been blaming apartheid. Now is the time. Your destiny is in your hand. The decision is in your hand. And look at the decision you've taken. Look at the destiny you've carved out for yourself. A destiny for doom. A destiny for destruction. Because of your poor self-concept and laziness, you've decided to kill all the foreigners in your country every day instead of thinking the best way to control and manage your economy. And you are blaming the vulnerable foreigners in your country. The world is seeing you. The world is recording what you are doing. I am telling you, if you don't change, there will be no future for you. Because you are destroying your own future. You are destroying your own destiny. You are destroying what Nelson Mandela suffered for. You are destroying what Sibiko suffered for. The Archbishop Desmond Tutu. These great leaders, built up South Africa, motivated you, inspired you, and today you are a disgrace to them. What a shame. Majority of South Africans don't have mentality for freedom. Because of this, that is why you are believing that somebody is taking your job, and then you become so envious and jealous of foreigners. Instead of approaching them as friends and learn skills from them, you are killing them, maiming them, destroying them, burning them alive in the streets. And the world is watching you. Oh Lord, have mercy. What I saw today, the killing of a pregnant woman. Naked her, a woman, a foreign woman, black woman. You disgrace her, kill her, beat her to death. What kind of life is that? Yes, apartheid groomed you. Yes, apartheid regime brainwashed you. But you have sense. Because you live in a slum doesn't mean you have to have a slumming mind. Jesse Jackson told you 1976. How long is it today? Have you forgotten Soweto riots? Have you forgotten what happened to you? They say anybody who doesn't know his history is doomed for failure, is doomed to repeat it again. And they are saying that wise people learn from others and smart people learn from what happened to them. You've never learned from what happened to you. Rather, you have taken position of ignorance. You've taken position of abuse. You've taken position of hatred and laziness. And that has made you very angry and bitter and very jealous of foreigners. Do you know the people you are killing? Do you know the countries they came from? Have you forgotten that you are killing yourself by killing fellow Africans? Have you forgotten that when you kill one person, you have killed the whole world? Humanity won't forgive you for what you are doing, the blood you are spilling in your own country on a daily basis for the past 3 years. Is it not time for you to put a stop to it? Is it not time for you to bring common sense to this? Is it not time for you to allow the course of law to take its course? Is it not time for you to allow the justice system to take its course? What kind of people are you people? What does the Ubuntu says about people? A person is a person through another person. You've ignored all your word of wisdom. You've ignored all your intelligent leaders, their inspiration, and gone astray, and you've betrayed yourself. Blaming fellow Africans as the cause of economic crisis, as people who are taking their job. I am telling you, South Africans, this is a disgrace. The world has no more respect for you because you have brought yourself down. You've killed the fingers that fed you. Lord, have mercy on you. I'm appealing to the government of South Africa to take responsibility. You should not collaborate with these hooligans, these people with oppressive mentality to kill foreigners in your country. You ignore and keep dark eye over all these things. You are not playing to your own strength. You are playing to your own weakness. This is a disgrace. Thank you.